Alright guys, back with another video. Sorry for all the crazy crap. I had it on Zoom from where I did a video of the mountains. And I've mentioned this at the school I'm going to, just in case anybody's watching. This is what I had in mind. Now I got a wheel on there just so it'll roll for right now. That's not the wheel that's going to be on it. Let me close that door because I don't want traffic kind of sort of aggravating me. Oh, you big... The door's jammed. Sometimes it'll work correctly, sometimes it won't, and I think I'm about to crush a can. I crushed it right on the cap. Look at this. Somehow I managed to perfectly place it and smush a cap in on it. I don't know. Witchcraft. I don't know. Alright, never mind me. Alright, door's pitching a fit again. Now, when I was talking about this, I mentioned that I was planning on building a trike. But, I got a new name for it. I call it the Tri-Cart. Because it's basically like a go-kart with a bike front ends. So, I call it the Tri-Cart. 3-wheeled. The reason it's unlevel is crap. That's not because of my welds, although some of it probably is, but right now I've got a wheel that's like twice the size of this one. I just stick it on there so it'd roll. The other wheel is flat and won't air up for anything. So, good for nothing wheel. Anyhow, believe it or not, I've been welding. You can tell by how crappy the welds are. But I'll be honest, I don't care how crappy the welds are, just as long as it holds me up off the ground and makes the thing roll, I'm fine with it. And I'm going to be shaving off all the ends. Like, this is going to be cut down to the frame so I can put in a board here. Now, me and my grandfather, we like going to something we call, or something that's called, and I'm not sure if it's any other state, but here in Tennessee it's called Rod Run. Down in Pigeon Forge, basically a bunch of people from all around the United States come to the strip in Pigeon Forge to look at antique cars and hot rods and souped up new cars. But I was thinking about making like a little cart for next year. Something I can drive around up there for fun. And let me hear this tire up because it's killing me. Not literally, but it's aggravating me. Like I'll get at. I gotta come up with a seat for it. Thinking about either using a lawnmower seat or one of those old 1940s tractor seats. I'll admit I'm a nerd. But a lot of people don't realize this. It's nerds that make the world go round. If it wasn't for nerds, you wouldn't have computers, you wouldn't have stuff in hot rod cars, because there's got to be those nerds there to machine it and make it. So, you just have to accept it. It's the fact, it's the truth. I'm just fooling around, but it is true. You wouldn't have stuff like smartphones and computers if it wasn't for nerds. But this is what I call the Tri-Cart. It's nowhere near finished. It's a work in progress. This little bar that looks astray is sitting right here. That's for the shifter. So that shifts from... It's 3-speed plus reverse and neutral. This is what they call a transaxle. The reason they call it a transaxle is it's just like a transmission built into a rear end. It's always in mowers. I think that's the only thing they put them in. I'm not sure. I took a water pump pulley. Place that on there. Hold up. It's in gear. Reverse, neutral. And I eyeballed it. I don't know if you can tell, but there's slight wobble in it. I just set it there, lined it up the best I could by eye, and tack welded it in 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. That way I have this really big pulley, and yes, I did not think that through when I put that there. I'm putting a motor here. So the motor's going here. I got to run a belt here. What I noticed is that bar's in the way, and it was after I'd done welded it, so I was kind of screwed there. But what I've also noticed is the edge of that big pulley makes it just enough over this way to miss it. But the smaller pulley, I would have to put in, I'm planning on using it anyhow, I'd have to put in an idler pulley or something to put enough tension on the belt this way to avoid hitting this support. So it's supported here, here, and here. And I took an old, it's a chopper bike. It's one of them old bicycles, and trust me, it wasn't a waste of a bike. You may think, oh my God, you stupid idiot. Why did you do that? Those things are valuable. It's one of the modern ones from like 2005, 2008. Those cheap, crappy ones that people buy and just leave sitting out in the weather. In fact, that's what happened to this. Chain was so horribly rotten, or rotted through with rust, there was no saving it. I didn't feel like coming up with a spare chain. And I wanted something, thanks tractor trailer trucks and cars. I know I'm crazy, I'm going crazy. But anyhow, what I did was I put this frame together, because I'm like, I really don't care for that bike. It's just laying around, doing nothing, except getting in my way. I want a vehicle I can cruise around on back roads or take to rod run, like I said earlier. And I thought, wouldn't this make a good match? Matchmaker. Well, how'd it go? I don't know, and I don't care. Anyhow, it was probably like an old 80s reference. I was born in the year 2000, but I grew up around a guy that lived in his childhood on up until now, which is about almost 40 years, somewhere in there. About 37 years since 1980. I don't know. Well, maybe 36. I'm not sure, and I don't care. I'm not a mathematician or a mathetizer, as it says on the Kinjo Markets ad. But anyhow, I just wanted something. It looks goofy as all get out. But do I care? No. I want something that shows who I really am. I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be like myself. Me, myself, and I. I'd rather be my own rare breed of who I am. This right here is what sets me apart from all other kids, and that's not crap on my hands, that's axle grease. Just so people don't write in the comments saying, oh my God, he crapped on his hands, or he went to wipe his butt and his hand slipped. It's just axle grease. But anyhow, I wanted something that sets me apart from everybody else. Why would I want a moped like the one I showed in the first video? Although it is pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but I want something that absolutely no one has. And this is it. Nobody has anything exactly like this, because I thought in my head, I want this, I'm going to build it how I see it. I've got a diagram and a book for height and body shape that I'd actually drew. I drew it at the school I was at on my free time, but the only difference was this in the whole main part of the chassis, this gray part, was down lower by like half a foot to a foot. The front end was scooted out way more, and I had wheel wells put right here. Kind of like a factory trike, but I'm not capable of doing that. I can barely use that thing as it stands now, so I wanted to go the easiest route, make it as simple as possible, but sturdy. So I just went pretty basic. And as you can see, it's not even, I know. I was just eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as the axles are pointing straight forwards equally with the frame, and not like that, driving the thing towards the... Because if the rear end is setting like this to the frame, it's going to make the vehicle itself, now picture this, like a forklift. Some of the forklifts have the rear wheels are steerable. So if it's turned this way, it's going to make it go that way. If it's turned like this, it's going to make the vehicle go that way. Or wait, did I get that correct? yeah, it's going to make the vehicle go that way. Sorry, I had a dull moment there. Anyhow, this is what I've got. I took an old water pump pulley. Wait, I done said that. But something I also wanted was something I could either tow this thing with if it broke down, which is very possible. And I could also tow something else, like a little small wagon with like a cooler in it. But my plan's also to put the motor there, the seat right up above the motor, and then right here, put like a platform for people to sit or to strap a cooler to. And I've got the original bearings for the pedals, and yes, the big gear for it's missing. It's laying over there on the floor. I'm lazy, I don't want to walk over there. It's that big blue thing. A blue one. Anyhow, doesn't matter. I've took it off. I grinded out the press fit rivet on it. Basically, the whole shaft on the end of it has, or the hull for the shaft has a rivet that was crowned over top of the gear to hold it in place. So I just grounded the head of that off, made it smooth, and stuck it back on there. And right now, I'm kind of planning on leaving it loose, so that way if I need to move it, I can. But if I go to put it, like weld it anywhere, I'm going to put it right here. And right here, I'm thinking about, well, building off of this and putting a bracket here, right next to this arch, which will help support the steering, the front end of it, and it will help support my big fat butt. I've said on this part right here, it doesn't bend, doesn't give. At least it didn't before. I'm going to attempt it now and hope that it doesn't on camera. See? I'm sitting on it right now. Don't look at that. It's not right. If you look at that, I'm going to be disappointed in you. Anyhow, I'm sitting on it right now. Oh God. Oh God. It's uneven because of that big tire on the left rear side. And as you can see, there's nothing holding me up except my own legs standing on this wobbly thing. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Gotta get down. Anyhow, I thought I'd just make this video kind of as a progress update. And there's some videos I need to post that I haven't. If you need painting or auto body work done for a price of around $500-600, I'm not sure his prices. I'm sure of my grandfather's prices, but Billy Don Payne. Wait, I shouldn't. I take that back. Never mind. I ain't gonna say nothing because you ain't supposed to give out your location. But if I did, I would. If I said it, I'd pretty much give it away. So sorry about that, guys, but I gotta take that back. Anyhow, this is just a project, kind of a proof of concept kind of thing, I guess. It's lopsided because of the wheel, and you can tell. I got bored. I worked about 3 or 4 hours polishing those wheels for my grandfather. They're like show quality now. It's amazing what a little bit of sandpaper and polish will do. Anyhow, that was a different story. And it looks like he used a different polish on that than I did on the rest of them. Anyhow. Well, I guess that's kind of it. I'm not sure. But I've got to hook up linkage for the choke. Well, then again, it isn't going to be electric start. I mean, I'm a big electrical guy. I love working on that stuff. But this time I think I'm going to set it out. I think I'm going to go with the minimal amount of electrical I have to. So basically just a kill wire like up here on the handlebar or something that kills the engine. Just press it and the engine dies. Because it hooks to the magneto and shorts the magneto to ground, therefore it does not produce an electrical arc to fire off any gas and air mixture in the cylinder of the engine. Me and my smart talk, I guess. Anyhow, I'm probably going to end the video here because I'm about to run out of time. Guys, this is John the Electro Man with the tricart, sorry, tricart.